perceive information absorbed through our five senses. So in a nutshell, we're presented with billions of information from, 0 years old till the age we are today, and we have our own interpretation of that. We could have a perceived negative or positive understanding of the experiences that we have, and some of these might be very obvious so-called negative experiences, and some also might be misunderstandings, and that's also how the subconscious works. And we use that concept in hypnotherapy, but certainly it's used in NLP as well. And there's a lot of relatability from NLP to hypnotherapy, but I would say the main difference between them is that NLP focuses more on the now. It doesn't really go back and look at the whys and the whos and the whens. It looks at what you want to feel now and how you want to feel in the future and what that looks like. It's also very conscious. In other words, you've got your eyes open, but sometimes you are closing your eyes to visualize. It's a very practical tool. It's a very physical tool. So sometimes things that you're not doing as a tool in your mind, you might be doing standing up or using items to help, the props and things like this. But it's also a way that we use language, as linguistics suggests. So it's about patterns, and it's about how you talk to yourself. I love that key phrase of be careful what you say or you say to yourself, because you're listening. So when you first start looking at the patterns and the behaviours that have been playing round and round, you might actually start to feel a bit shocked about what you say to yourself. It's very natural for us to actually criticise ourselves more than anybody else, and yet we'd never say that to a friend or a loved one. So it's also about patterns. Just giving you an example of the word should. It's quite a powerful word, and actually we don't have to do anything. We don't have to put ourselves in a situation we should do anything. Who is the person that is saying the should? Because most likely it's not from yourself originally. Again, that's crossing a little bit into hypnotherapy, which is the difference. Hypnotherapy does look at the backstory. It helps you to move forward from an emotion and then looks at how you will apply it in the future and today. But we're focusing on NLP, and just like hypno, it also tackles the subconscious mind, which is fantastic, because the subconscious is 88% of what drives you on a daily basis. So it's also said that it's 9,000 times more powerful. If you're not aware of what drives you on a subconscious level, your values, your belief systems, your patterns, then you're letting life lead you, rather than you being a bit mindful and pausing and making new choices. So NLP helps you to shift perspective, to see things differently, and therefore bring empowerment and self-leadership back to your life. So it was designed originally by two gentlemen, Bandler and Grindler, and I was lucky enough to be trained by one of the trainees of the Bandler route. This was a guy called Jerry, and he was based in America. He came to Dubai, where I was living at the time, and he stayed there for quite a long time, teaching us for a couple of months about NLP. He was amazing. At least 70 years old, loads of life experiences and loads of experience with NLP as a therapist and also as a trainer. So it was just wonderful to have lots of live stories and metaphors. Because if you ever did decide to do NLP training yourself, what you'll find is, first and foremost, it's absolutely wonderful for your own personal awareness. And as you know, part of my definition of mindfulness is about self-awareness. Well, a big part of it, because that's how you make those mindful choices. So it really holds a mirror up to yourself, and you can start to look at your own patterns, and you can shift it during the practice sessions, which is amazing. But it also works for you in terms of if you want to be a coach, if you want to do that as a profession, or if you want to do that within your company, or as a manager. So it's really fantastic. And if you ever are interested in looking at that, feel free to just send me the link of where you're looking at, and I can just suss out what kind of NLP training it is. There's no right or wrongs as such. There's just some specific Bandler and Grindler NLP lineage, and then there's some shorter courses as well. So it just depends whether you want a taster or you want to just go full on into it. So that is a bit of the intro, as you say, about what NLP is. But let's get into now a bit about what neuro, linguistic and programming stands for. Okay, so I'm going to put this flip chart piece of paper up just now for you to have a look while I'm talking you through it. Because NLP, it's actually a really big subject. Like I say, it takes quite a long time to train yourself in it if you're looking in NLP. But also there's some quick techniques that you can learn, and that's, as you know, what these monthly mindfulness sessions are all about. It's a little taster, and then it's up to you what you do with that. Not every tool every time will resonate with you. So with NLP, if you really feel like it's a technique that you like, then you can either read more into it, study more into it, or have some one-to-ones with that specific method. So I can't go into everything about NLP, but I can certainly give you the underlying concepts, how things are done, and, as I say, a couple of examples. So looking at this slide then, or this flip chart, you can see that we have a brain. Okay, so we can see that one straight away. And then, as you can see, it's mapped out with neuro, linguistic and programming. Then we have, as we said right in the beginning, the input, so that's the data, the sensories, and then the output, which is basically your behaviour, your language, your patterns, the way you live your life. And just to repeat again, everybody has their own unique map of the world, and so with NLP it's also about reframing and therefore understanding other people as well as understanding yourself, and that just makes life also easier and more peaceful and helps you to make those mindful choices that we talk about. Remember, everybody is doing the best they can with the information that they have at the time, and this includes your younger self, whether that's years younger or whether that's yesterday's you. Okay, so reframing is a big part of it as well, choices, and that comes with why do we need to know about NLP? Why would we like to explore NLP? Okay, so back to this flip chart again. Let's go through one by one then. So neuro, as it says, it's the first access. So neuro, of course, refers to the brain as well, and the neurons, so how the brain's all connected, how it all works. And as I say, from millions of data through the senses, we